Okay, rdcust and the ETL load log header count. Okay, we will identify if the table status is successful or not here, and then we'll remove the duplicates and then load the final table. So this is the first day load. So after this, okay, and the next day file comes with the data, okay, we have to calculate whether the data is changed or not. If changed, what was the change? Is it a new insert or a update to the existing record, or it is a delete from the yesterday's data? So we have to calculate the change capture process, and then we export a file along with the change indicator, I for inserts, D for deletes, U for updates, and then we do a logical SCD type 2 operations on the actual dimension table, and we'll maintain the history here. And then again, I mean, if you have patience, then you can populate a fact table with the normal inserts I have given. I didn't give any ETL process here, just to insert and then execute the final SQL to generate the reports. This is for reporting purpose. But if you consider as an ETL developer of Teradata, it is enough if you do this till step 7 for ETL processes of Teradata. If you want to master an ETL processes, step 7 is expected. So we'll start looking at the scripts. Close all this moment. Okay. Now let's open our script. This is number 12, and this we have the lab. So this is my first data file, the step 1, where I have prepared the data file. You might use the export commands again, but here you can write the data file manually and ensure your cursor is at the end of the record's first place. Okay. So this is the first data file. And this is the script. First command is the logon. In the script, I have given the comments here for our purpose. So extract username and password from the login text and log on. And then I set my default database to retail. Okay, and the exception handling statements. If any of the statement is failed to execute, where it has to go? The error exit. Okay, if for example this is a SQL statement, if this statement is failed because the database not exist or syntax error or server downs, whatever it could happen in production, the error code may be greater than 0. Error code should be greater than 0 if this statement failed, right? So if it failed, what to do? We should not execute the rest of the statements. Okay, we should go to error exit label, where this error exit table is defined at the end of the script here. Error exit. Okay, so the execution jumps here and log off the sessions, quit with a return code 10, which is greater than 0, which indicates it is a failure. Okay, so this is the error exception handling statement what I have implemented. So with whatever place, if an SQL fails, it won't execute the rest of the SQLs, but it will go to the error exit and quit with error code 10. So that is the meaning of this particular error exception statement. Okay. And if it is successfully executed, it gives error code as 0. If error code is 0, then it will follow the next statements. Yeah, go ahead.
quit 10, 20, like that. If we give number, that is going to give us where exactly the error happened, right? It is going to give that indication.
Yeah. If you have multiple errors, okay, if you give 10, 20, quit 20, quit 10, quit 20, quit 30, then by seeing the written code, you can identify at what place exactly the error happened without debugging the whole script, right? For example,
So Manohar, we can give any value other than 0.
yep, any value greater than 0. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 you can return, but 1, 2, 3 below 4 are considered as warnings, okay, the less severity. So better you give severities greater than 4, and any value greater than 0 would be enough. But if you give less than 4 or less than 10, they are considered as warnings probably. Okay, so you use the greater numbers. Any other questions up to here? The error handling statement, log on, and the comments, okay, how to maintain comments. Where shall I go ahead? Okay. If this database statement is executed successfully, then I have to follow the next executable statements. So it is the first cleanup statement, which I am deleting the ETL load log table. Okay, you may not use this, but here we are using only one batch load to see. So I am deleting it so that we will be clear what data we are loading for today and what is the status. But generally, we don't delete this, because after 10 days, if you want to know the status, what happened on so and so date, you will have this ETL load log table for the tracking purpose. Okay? On so and so date, at so and so time, this file is failed or success. Okay? You can track the status of each load with this ETL load log table. But here, as we are showing the demonstration for only one load, I'm just using the delete load log so that at any particular point of time, we have only one batch file loaded. So each SQL statement is handled for the exceptions. Are you getting resounds or echoes? Please be on mute if you don't have any questions. If you are getting some noise, please be on mute yourself. Okay, fine. Okay, and then we have to import the data file, the customer file which exists at this particular path, using the structure header, the source, the business date, the count. Yeah, these are the fields exist in the data file in the header, right? This is the customer file. In the header, we have only the 4 fields. And what is the table? Show table detail dot ETL underscore load log. We have 5 columns here, including the status, which we have to calculate the status. But rest of the columns, it was already there in the header. I'm getting sound again. Okay, I have muted. Okay, so these 4 columns, we load it from the data file from the header record, and this status we calculate it. Okay. So we have declared the columns exist in the header with 4 variables, and we are inserting the 5 columns. Okay, the 4 columns from the file, so they are included with the prefix of colon to represent the variables, and the last one we are hard coding it. Okay, we are maintaining it as progress. That means we just started the loading, so the load is in progress. So I have hard coded the 5th column in the ETL load log table. Now, to calculate the change capture process, I am using one more temporary table called old cust. Okay, so that yesterday's loaded data will be taken back up into old cust. Okay, like this. Insert into old cust, select star from retail.rdcust, because rdcust is the table which loads the source data for today's data file. But to do the change capture process, we have to have yesterday's data also available so that we can do a join between these two instances of the data and can calculate the change, whether it is an insert, update and delete. Okay, so in order to make us ourselves enable to do this operation, calculation of change capture, I am taking backup of the yesterday's data into old_cust table. I have introduced one more temp table here. Temp table means the intermediary table. This is a permanent table in terms of the terminology, but it is a intermediary work table for us to calculate the change capture process. It is to keep yesterday's data for the change capture. So for the first day, as I am implementing the data warehouse today alone, so what would be the data in the old cust and what is the data in the RD cust? The 0. Right? As today is my first day of data warehouse implementation, there is no data in the RD_cust, so there is no data to be taken back up into old_cust. So this is all 0 records for the first day. And I am deleting the data from RD_cust. So nothing is deleted on the first day because I didn't loaded anything. Right? This is the first day. I didn't loaded anything, so the delete will delete 0 rows. And then I'm importing the data file by skipping the first record. That is the header record I'm skipping, and the same data file I'm loading into which table? The RD_cust table. That is RD_cust has these many columns: customer number, customer name, date of birth, gender, marital status, address and contact information. This phone number, contact with phone number here. So all these columns exist as data records in the cust file. So I am using the structure to read this file data and I am inserting the data into a table RD_cust as it is. Whatever data coming from source, I am just loading into RD_cust table by skipping the header record.
Here you used a repeat star. Is it because we don't want to define a certain number of records as the count?
Yes.
For the repetition of inserts?
Yes. We have to load all the records from the data file. We are not going to use any of the rows from the data file, source file. So generally we use repeat star. Right? If you want to load only 100 records,
Then it is going to stop after one record. Pardon me?
I mean, if you want to load only 100 records from the source file, which is having 1,000 rows.
Repeat, it's 99 or 100. 100 we got to put, right?
Yeah.
We are skipping
Repeat.
1.
Yeah.
So 99.
Yeah. Okay, so like that. Or 101, you have to mention actually. Okay, you are skipping 1 and the remaining 100 records, so you have to put 101. Then you can
and
load.
Manohar, quite on means we don't log all the
So
log.
when it is inserting each and every row, it will show you the status: insert completed, 1 row inserted, insert completed, 1 row inserted, and total time elapsed. Okay, to avoid those messages, those many number of inserts, we just use quite on. Okay, when we execute, you will get to know, okay, what is the purpose of quite on, because insert completed will be eliminated. And here, if you observe, I didn't use the pack. I didn't pack it, so it is all row by row operation. Each row is read once from the file and each row is written on the table once. So if I have 10 records, 10 times the file will be read and 10 times the table will be written. If I want to use pack, I can use pack with 3 records or 4 records, so that at least the number of IO operations can be decreased. Clear up to here? And then I have used a quite off here. That means after the insert statement, I wanted the acknowledgements of the each SQL statement. So I have used the quite off. So from here onwards, again I will get the all status back for each and every execution of SQL. Only for the insert statement, I don't want every time to be informed me about the insert completed, one row inserted. That's where I just use quite on and quite off for this particular insert statement alone. After this quite off, everything is displayed again. So now, after loading the RDCust with the remaining data records, I have to observe if the load is successful or not. How do I observe the load is successful or not? By comparing the count from the RDCust with the count of the ETL load log populated column. So update retail ETL load logs table set with the status as success, where the business date is equal to same the current date and the status in progress, and the count is equal to select the count from the RD underscore cust. So what this particular subquery does, it will return me the count of the rows in the RD cust which were loaded. And what is this count? This count is the column of the ETL load log status, ETL load log table, okay, which is populated from the header of the data table, data file. The header of the data file contains one count, and this is the actual count which you populated with the import statement. If these two are matched and the corresponding particular row is having a status as progress, then you are going to update is with this statement with the status success. Okay. If this update is successful, then how many rows are processed here? How many rows are updated with the status of success here? If the count is matched in between the header count and the actual records loaded into the RDCust table are matched, how many rows are going to updated in the ETL load log table?
One.
One row will be updated with the status success, right? And if activity count is equal to 0, then what does it mean? What is the activity count first, and what is the activity
It is
count
not
of this
updated.
particular row, this particular statement? If one row is
It's
updated,
not updated anyway.
yeah,
No records inserted.
no records are updated, right? If no records are updated, that means what does it mean? The condition is failed. This condition is failed. That's where it was not able to update any record, so activity count is 0. When this count is failed, what does it mean? The count in the header and the rows which are inserted in the RDCust are not same. Then shall we say the load is success or failure? If the condition is not met, that is count from the header is equivalent to the rows which are inserted into the RDCust, shall we say the data is loaded successfully or not? Failure, right? Not success. So if activity count is 0, that means if the above statement is not executed and not updated, then success is not done, then it has to go to where? The failure update, the label. So where this failure update is written here, it has to go to the failure update. Okay, the execution jumps to here and it will update the table with the status failed, and it will log off and quit with the error code 20. So when it quit with 20, I can understand, okay, the record count is mismatched, so it has failed.
Manohar, I have a question. Like instead of every time go to label and all the stuff, there is no option like if this one is happened, do this step else something. There is no such type of link.
There is no
Because
else statement here, first of all. Okay, it is not an advanced procedural language. It is just move forward procedures. If then else is not there, only if and then.
okay.
Yeah. And if you move forward and there is no option, you can go backwards. It is only always forward in BTech. Yeah. Once you jump to here, from here you cannot jump back to any other particular SQL. You have to just go like this. Quit 20 and come out.
That means every go to statement we have like log off and quit should be there.
Yes, yes. See here, for error exit, we have log off and quit. Because if it jumps here, there is nothing, I mean, we can execute more. Whatever we want to execute, whatever cleanup process we want to do, we have to do in between this label and quit. Because it cannot go back. The control cannot go back. And if it jumps here, again you have to write all your cleanup steps. Whatever you want to update, whatever you want to close, whatever you want to remove, everything you do it here and quit. Because as we are expecting these errors, we will do our cleanup operations and will come out of it. This is called exception handling. Right?
Okay.
Because we are expecting some errors. Whenever these errors expected or whenever these errors occurred, it has to do all this process and come out of it. If we don't handle this, what happens? It will continue the remaining steps, which are not necessary, right? If the load is not successful, why we want to delete the duplicates and why we want to load the final table? We don't do that, right? That's where we want to handle it so that the execution will be jumped to the end of the script and come out of the script with a particular return code. Okay, so by here we have updated the status of our ETL load log table either with success in case the counts are matched or with a failure in case the counts are not met. Right? Either at the fail update it will come up with the failure status or
Where did we get this?
Which one?
What is this activity count? We did not define that as a variable anywhere.
No, it is
right?
a system routine.
Is it
It is a system routine function which handles the count of rows which are processed in the above statement. I have explained it in the BTech session, isn't it? Activity count, error code, error level.
Yes, Manohar.
Okay, did I explain? Okay, good.
I remember error label, but I did not recollect this.
Yes, Manohar, you have explained these
Okay,
things.
fine. Maybe some miss happened. So activity count is the variable, okay, the system function, you can say that system variable which holds the number of records are processed just above it. Okay, in this update, how many rows are updated? If updated, one row will be updated, otherwise 0. Right? So if it is 1, that means success is updated. So it won't met this condition and it will go to the next statement, continued statement. Otherwise, if this condition is met, that means activity count is 0. That means no updates are happened here. Then it will go to the fail update and it will update the failure status and come out of the script with the quit 20. So everyone clear up to handling the ETL load log status for success and failure? Okay. And what is the next step? Once we update the table with the success status, that is the load is success, then what is the next step? The removing duplicates, where intentionally we have introduced some duplicates and we have to remove those duplicates now. Okay, this is the technique I use. There are several techniques, but here is the simple understandable technique what I used. Create a volatile table with a dupe cust as retail.rdcust with no data on commit reserve rows. So I have created a volatile table called dupe cust. I just want to introduce a volatile table in the entire case study, so I have introduced it here. On commit reserve rows. And then we are inserting the rows which have the duplicates. Select star from RDCast group by all the columns and having count star is greater than 1. So what rows I will get here as a result? Let's see the data file. So in the data file I have 7 columns. If I give a command, if I give an SQL, select star from RDCast group by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 having count star greater than 1. Then what are the rows coming up as a result once they are loaded into the RDCast? The rows which are duplicated.
All the rows, sir.
Having count star greater than 1.
Duplicate.
Okay.
Duplicate. 3 and 4.
Right? So only the duplicates will come.
4 will come.
Yeah. 3 will come because 3 is repeated 2 times here, the same data, and 4 I have repeated here the same data. So this 3 and 4 are written as part of the result of the select star from group by all these columns having count star greater than 1. Okay. So how many rows? 2 rows or 4 rows? The result of the select query, we get 2 rows or 4 rows. Okay. So first row is first row is 3, second row is 4, third row is again 3, fourth row is again 4. So does it mean 4 rows or 2 rows? Number of rows I am saying.
4 rows.
Right?
Yeah, 4 rows.
Okay. So the result of the select star with having count star greater than 1 will return 4 rows. Okay. This is the one set, 3 and 4, and this is one more set, the duplicates. So total 4 rows are written which are satisfying this condition having count star greater than 1.
But Manohar, it is a set. But Manohar, it is a set table, right?
No, I am asking the select result.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. I just highlighted the select statement. The select statement has written 4 rows, but as this volatile table is a set table by default, how many rows will be inserted into the set table? Insert into dupcast.
2 rows.
4 rows or 2 rows?
4
2
rows.
rows will
4
be
rows.
2 will be inserted.
2 rows.
I don't accept duplicate.
What is the property of this dupcast table? Is it a set or multi-set?
It is set.
It is a set table. So set table don't allow the duplicates. So even though the select statement has written 4 records, how many records will be inserted into the set table dupcast?
2, right?
2.
2. Any other answer? Anyone? As dupcast is the set table where it eliminates the row level duplicates. Even though the select statement has written 4 rows with the same data of sets, okay, it will be eliminated and only 2 rows are inserted into the dupcast. Any question, anyone?
So Manor,
It will throw an error message.
No.
so why do we use the group Y? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's the
To identify which are duplicates and which are having more than one instance of that particular row.
so if we say group Y 1 only, then what?
Yeah, okay, if you say group by 1 and for example,
All the rows are not equal. Then.
yeah, if I make some change here,
Then it can't be duplicate.
then it is not a row level duplicate, right? It's 4 and it's 4. So that's where to eliminate that problem, we have grouped by all the columns, so that if all the columns are equal, then only it is identified as a row level duplicate.
So the numbers 1 through 7 are the
column names,
columns,
the column names.
attributes. Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
Of the
4,
record.
5, 6, 7.
That's the position of the columns, right? We can
Yes.
write the names also. We can write the
Yes,
numbers.
yes. As per ANSI, you can write the names. In Teradata, you can position it with the number. Here also. Okay, so this is the number, normal number. This is the column positions. Okay, in the order by class or in the group by class, you can use the column positions with the numbers. No need to write the names in Teradata. Okay. Everyone clear up here? And then we are deleting.
In this case, when not all four rows are inserted, won't it throw an error?
No, it won't throw error. It will silently eliminate the duplicates.
Okay, silently. Okay. Well, we could also use a distinct.
Yep, you can use distinct also as well. Yes. So when do we use distinct and when do we use group by? Again, a optimization question. Anyone? When do we use
If we
group by?
have,
When do we
if
use?
we have huge data, we have to use group by.
Okay.
If not, we can use this.
Yeah. It's correct, but we can be elaborate. If we have huge data and huge duplicates, then we use group by. If we have less data and less degree of duplication, we use distinct. Okay? This is an optimization rule. If you have very huge table and the degree of duplication is also very huge, then you use the group by clause. Okay? Even if the data is very huge but the degree of duplication is very less, then you may use distinct. Okay? And if the data is very less and the degree of duplication is very less, then you use the distinct.
So why is there a difference between a distinct over? Why is like that? Why we based on the like quantity of data?
It is internally execution. Okay, so if you use group by, it has to do the high resource consumption operation on all amps within all amp with a full table scans. With the distinct, it has an optimization performed within it internally where it can go to those particular rows directly. Okay, so where you can use that options. So it is an internal architectural implementation of distinct and group by. So this is what is said. A group by is used for huge data with a huge degree of duplication, and distinct is for less degree of duplication.
Manohar, if we use distinct also, how can we select the count then?
No, if you use distinct, you use distinct syntax. You don't use this group by, right?
Okay.
You don't use group by when you use distinct. Select distinct star from RDCast. That's it.
So how will know the duplicates then?
This technique is not used.
Okay.
This technique is not used. Here what we are doing, we are identifying duplicates, inserting into the duplicast, and then I am deleting those records from the actual table and then reinserting it.
No. I'm asking like if you specified select a distinct. So in that whichever distinct columns will come like but the 3 and 4 records won't come. Correct?
3 and 4 records come only once. Okay, so the result of select will directly insert into.
No. Then 1 and 2 also will come.
Yes, 1 and 2 would come. 3 and 4 also would come, but these come only once, right? This is the result.
We don't want to insert 1 in volatile table. So
that's what I'm saying. Who is this? Vidya, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I use distinct statement, I don't use this volatile table to insert the duplicates. What I will use one more table like all the distinct table, distinct underscore cust, and I use the result of distinct into the dist underscore cust. So where I will get all the data at once.
Okay.
Okay, got it. So the technique is different by using the commands, whatever you use. So whatever.
Yeah, the logic will be changed. Like
yes.
if you use in that way.
Yes. Okay. So I use some other table which gets all the distinct data at once. Here the data is very less. That's why you are using distinct. But generally, if let's suppose customer is having some million data, then am I supposed to use this distinct? As per optimization, I should not use distinct on the million records of data with a high level of duplication. So I have to use group by. So this is the technique in real time.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, as you've seen data here very less, then you might have a thought of using distinct, but in real time, this is not the data, right? Okay. So once we are getting the duplicates into dupcast, then from the actual table, I will delete those duplicate records. How many records will be deleted here? When I delete data from audience for cust, where customer number in this dupe table. 2 rows or 4 rows?
4 rows will be deleted.
Okay. The complete 4 rows will be deleted. The 3 which is existing 2 times and 4 which is existing 2 times, all these records will be deleted. But is that what we want to remove duplicate means? We completely deleted the 3,
So we
completely
need at
deleted
least
4.
one occurrence of it.
Yeah, we should need at least one occurrence of each and every row when they are duplicated. So what we are doing, we are inserting back into the RD cast from the dupe cast. So how many rows will be coming back again into the RD cast?
2 rows, right?
2 rows, because dupe cast has 2 rows here when we are inserting into. Yeah. So 2 rows are inserted into dupe cast, even though the result of select is 4, and we are removing the 4 rows from the RD cast, and we are getting those 2 rows back into our RD cast. So by end of the statement, we will have all the duplicates eliminated, and we have at least one instance of all the duplicate records, isn't it? So this is a simple technique of remove duplicates. Okay, you may use the row number, ranks, or see some the OLAP functionality also to remove the duplicates and keeping one instance of the table, one instance of the row. Clear, everyone? Up to here, remove duplicates.
Manohar,
Hmm?
instead of storing in another volatile table and moving like 4 to 2 and all the stuff, why don't we select a distinct of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from RD underscore cast group by? After we use group by and having, we can't use distinct for the select column?
No. See, I told you. Why I use group by here? By expecting huge data in the table. Can I use a distinct on a huge table? As per performance, distinct should be used on less number of data with less level of degree of duplication. So now you tell me.
Yeah, but after group by and having, we'll get only 4. No. My question is like, after group by and having, we are keeping group by and having. Finally, after that, we are getting only 4 records.
Yes.
So in that 4 also, I want to restrict only distinct to get 2. So can I specify select distinct 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Group by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Having count of is greater than 1.
Here I use the set table. Do I need to really require distinct here? Why we are redundant? Why we are giving the functionality which is redundant? Here the dupe cast is giving me the elimination of the duplicates. Why I use distinct here again?
Okay.
Okay. So by here we have eliminated all the duplicates, and then we are starting the change capture process. As this is the first day of insertion, the join what I'm making in between RT cast and old cast, it doesn't make much sense. And this is the first day, so old cast is having 0 records, RT cast is having the rows of today's records. So whatever data it's come, it will come into the delta, which is again another volatile table. I will explain you once I execute the script after one time. Okay, but here this is the change capture process. But as this old cust is 0 records right now, it doesn't make much sense. All the records are inserts or updates or deletes. What it is identified with. As we are loading the first time, all the records are marked as what? What transaction? Is it an insert or update or delete? Then it will change
Inserts.
capture. Any other answer? Okay, so all the records are marked as insert, as this is the first time load. Okay, in the final table, there are no records. All the records are first time loading in, so all the records are marked as inserts. Right? So this is executed. Because in the full outer join, the b dot customer number is null. Right? Old cust is 0 records, so b dot customer number is null. So all the records are matched with I. If there is any row, then it will try to calculate whether which column is null out of this full outer join, and then it will calculate the corresponding transaction. But here, as it is the first time, all the records are having insert because the customer number in old cust will give you the null always, the full outer join. Yeah. So all the rows are inserted into this delta with an indicator called I. And all this delta table will be exported into a text file. The delta underscore update underscore delete, where the data which has U and D. So how many rows are exported for the first time for the delta with a condition of U and D?
0.
0.
7
records.
records.
0 records. U and D.
Oh,
There are no U and Ds, right? Only I's are there.
I saw that.
So
Okay.
with this condition, 0 records are exported. And there is one more export statement where I use select star from delta where indicator in U and I. Then how many rows are inserted? How many rows are exported here? With I.
7.
After removing the duplicates.
Then it will be 5.
Okay. So 5 data records with the indicator insert are exported into delta update insert. Okay. So here if you observe, I have combined this update records in both deletes and inserts. Why? What are the operations to be performed if a record to be inserted on the target table in the SCT type 2? What are the operations to be performed on the target table if the record to be inserted?
Insert and update.
For insert operation in the target table, what are the SQLs to be executed?
Just insert.
Just insert with a end date as 12/31/999.
Yeah, I did.
If it is an update,
Update
what are
and
the
insert.
SQLs?
Update and
Update,
insert.
one insert. One update is for the existing record to close the end date as the current
Insert.
business date, and a new record to be
A new
inserted,
record, insert.
okay, with the end date as 9/9/12/31. And if it is a delete,
Just update.
just
One
update the existing record with the end date as 12/31/999. Okay, so for delete we have to do one update, for insert we have to do insert, and for update we have to do both the operations, right? So that's where I have included updated records in case of delete also and in case of insert also. So if you want to insert, this update record also will be inserted once, and if it is a delete, this update record will also be updated. That's where update records are exported in both the cases, even it is delete or even it is insert. An update record is also exist in both the files to do all the operations. Okay. And then we are importing each and every delta file. First one is update and delete. So when I importing update and delete, what operation to be performed? The update of existing records. Okay, in case of U, it will update with current date -1, and in case of D, it will be updated with current date. Okay. Because for updates, you will have the new record from current day onwards. So we are updating it with current date -1. For deletes, the activity of this current record is till today. So we are updating it with current date. So here we are distinguishing with what date we have to close that record. Here we are importing the update and delete data file, and we are closing the end date of the target table row with the current date -1 in case of an update, or current date in case of a delete. Okay. And then we are importing the delta update insert. For delta update insert, what are the actions? Insert. So for both update and insert, we are inserting a new row with the data from the file with the end date as 9/9/12/21. Okay. Log off and quit. So this is the success quit. So it is 0 default, normal exit. If anything happened, it will go to error exit. If the count mismatch, it will go to failed update. This is
Manohar,
yeah.
If it is only count mismatch, then you are going to change the status to failure.
Yes.
Suppose if there is any other issue also, the next day the table will show as still processing.
Yes.
Correct? Like if
Yes.
this,
Still in progress, so you have to debug it and fix it. You have to rerun the same script again because the process is in progress.
Process means like as if it's executing the script till 24 hours like that. Correct? Like we have to change the status to failure.
Yeah, it depends. See, if you want to come out of the script by giving some other status, failed or error in loading process, you can use that by giving update with some other status.
You got my point. Like we don't know like how long the batch will be processed, so we have to get, other than failure, we have to give some error message. Correct?
Yes. I got your point. So you can customize, however way you want to handle those errors.
Because I can't kill the process until I know what's happening, like whether it is still really processed or.
Yes. So my intention here is, in case if it failed with 10, so there is some error, you have to fix it currently. So I make the status as progress, I will debug this process, I will fix this, and I will make it a success anyhow.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the script. So let us try to execute and see. Any questions, anyone till here? After execution, you will get a clear picture and you have some more clear questions. Okay. So what we are doing here, first let me see if there is any data in the tables. Select star from the target table, retail cust. If there is any data, let us delete it. Okay, so there is no data in retail cust or in rd underscore cust because it is the first implementation, first day of inception of the record. So let me make my database as retail default.
When I try to create these tables, for me, it created under samples database.
Okay, but default database is samples. So you have to use this statement so that you can have your default database. Okay, so without database prefix, if you do any operation, it will go to the default database. For the TD user, the default database is samples. That's where it's going there.
Manohar, do you have any option to change that?
Yes. The default database.
Do we
You can change it here, or in the ODBC, you select that ODBC here, configure, and here you can change it, default database retail, so that whenever you log in at the first time, your database will become retail. In the DSN you can change it. So show it again. Tools, define ODBC data source, select the database DSN. For you it is TD user, select TD user, configure it, and this is the default database where you can change it. For you it may be samples here, so remove it, make it as retail. Or after logging into the session, if you want to change, this is the command, database retail or database financial, whatever. Okay, so for the first time there is no data in all these tables. Okay, so all are 0. So now I am trying to execute it. Okay, I will go to the folder number 12 and lab. In lab folder I have created the script for her. So what is the script name? The lab SCR1, the script 1. So btech SCR1.text, the log to be rolled to SCR1_log.text, then the errors also to be spooled here. Okay, script got executed. Let me see the log. Then this is the log, and this is update delete exported file with 0 KB, there will be no records, and update inserts 1 KB with some data. And this is the log. So let us read the log and understand. Log on successful, database accepted, no ETL load log. Okay, one row removed, there was some old row got removed, then import where text, one row added, see, and from old cust no rows are removed. Insert into old cust, select star from retail RD cust, because there is no data in RD cust, no data in old cust also, so no rows are added. And delete from RD cust, no rows are exist, so no rows are deleted from the RD cust also. Then we are importing the data by skipping one record, quite on. So see, insert completed, one row removed, that is eliminated with the quite. If you give pack, then these are also will be eliminated those many times. Yeah. Finally, 7 data rows are accepted, and then made the status success, because 7 is the count I have given in the data file, and 7 is the count which is loaded in the RD cast. So one row is changed, it says status success. So activity count is 1. So when activity count is 1, it is not going to the fail update, but coming to the next statement. Okay, please remember, we'll execute the scenario where we'll give some mismatch in the counts and see if the failure status is given or not on the ETL load log. Okay, that is one scenario of testing. So by seeing this functionality, we have to write our test cases. Right? First test case is having same count as of the loaded count. The next scenario testing is to not to have same counts in between the header and the actual data records. Then you see the failure status. Okay, now we will see the next scenario with the failure status. So create volatile table for the duplication, and see 2 rows are inserted into the dup cust, whereas the select statement output is 4 rows, as this is a set table. And then delete from the RD cust. So 4 rows are removed. So complete instances of duplicates are removed, and one instance of the duplicates are retrieved back from the dup cust to the RD cust. So by the end of this, we have all the records only once by removing the duplicates. And here we did the change capture process with the RD cust and old cust full outer join to identify which record is insert, delete and update. Yeah, table is been created, and as old cust is empty, all records should be populated with I. Right? So how we can prove that while exporting for U and D, no rows are exported. That means no record is with U and D, but all records are exported with I. See, the total rows exported are 5. And while importing for update and delete, no rows are imported, as this is the initial load, right? And all 5 rows are inserted here with the end date as 12/31/999 into the final table, cust table, the target model table. 5 rows are accepted with the end date as 12/31/999. So let us see the data in cust. Select star from cust. See, the initial load, all records 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by eliminating the duplicates. It is loaded with the end date as 12/31/999. So initial load is completed. Now on the next day we are having one more data file, cust2. Okay, so let's compare the cust data and cust2 data. What is the difference in cust and cust2? Then we have this new data to be processed on the next day. So the first record is coming as it is without any change. Second record is coming without any change. The third record is coming with an address change. You see, address is 3 here, here address is 33. So this is the changed record. So it should be updated. Okay. And fourth record, if you observe the marital status become Y here for the fourth record. Here it was non-marital, not married. Here it is, yes, here got married. So this is an update record again. And 6, does it exist yesterday? No, it exists only here. So it is an insert. How about 2? There is no change. It is a duplicate. The current file, it is a duplicate. And how about this 5? This is existing yesterday, but today it is not existing. What does it mean? Is it an upset? It is a deletion. Okay. So we have implemented all these scenarios here. No change records, update records 3 and 4, insert record 6, and delete record 5. Okay. So we are going to process this data now and see how the change capture is calculated and how the final table is maintained with the SCG type 2. Okay. So in the same script, I'm just changing the data file name from cust.text to cust2.text. In real time, is it required? Every day the file will come with the same file name. So here, just to have 2 data files with clarity, I'm just changing the script, but in real time what would happen, this cust2 is renamed with cust1. So the same script will execute on the new data even with the same data file. Okay, that's what in real time, but here I'm just changing the file names. Okay. So now the data file is changed to cust2. Save this. I'm executing it again. Now see the log first. Log on successful, database accepted, 1 row removed. Okay, let's see ETL load log status also, which we didn't see, right? ETL load log status. So let's start from ETL load log. What should be the status? Success. Count is 6. SOR we have to change it to cust2, because the source name is customer dimension always, even though it is cust1 or cust2, the source is customer, so we just used it. Okay, so what is the log? So cust2 file is processed now, so one row is inserted, delete, no rows removed from old cust. So now in the old cust we are having 5 rows. See, because yesterday's data is loaded into old cust and RD cust is deleted, and now it will be imported with the new data, all the 5 rows, the new coming data from cust2. And then the duplicates, now it is only one duplicate to record, so it is removed here, this duplicate elimination process. And then the full outer join with the old cust. Now the old cust has also data and RD cust has the data, so it will string a full outer join between those two, and it will give some updates, some deletes, some inserts. So let's see here, with the U and D 3 records are exported, right? The 5 record and 3 record and 4 record, 3 records, 3 and 4 are updates and 5 is a delete, so 3 records are exported here, and remaining records 1, 2 and 6 are inserted, right? So they will be exported as inserts. And while importing, yeah, so it is update delete. So when we are importing, we have to update the records as per their current date -1 or current date. So all the 3 records are updated. And then inserts, update and inserts with the end date as 12/31/999 are inserted again. So now see the final data in the target table. So first record is unchanged, so no operation is done on 1 or 2, no change records. Okay, yesterday it is also same, today also same, so it is no change. And third record, if you see, address 3 is updated with address 33, so this is yesterday's data. To represent the activity of this third record is closed, we have ended it with the current date -1, that is December 9th, and we have inserted a new row with start date as today and end date as open date 12/31/999. Similarly, the DDD, the marital status got changed, so we have closed the old record and we have opened the new record. Fifth record is deleted, so it is just closed. There is no record to be inserted. It is just closed. 6 is new record, so inserted with a new end date. So this is how the SCD type 2 is maintained. If you create one more data file with some changes and you process it, then again you will get SCD type 2 maintained.
Manohar, when you say delete, you are not actually deleting from data warehouse, right?
Yes, yes. Data warehouse, the major definition is non-volatile. It means we should not change any business data, or we do not delete any data. Just logically delete the activity of the record. Okay, by looking at, you can understand, okay, this record is valid from this date to this date. As we have processed on the same date, you are getting only same date here, but it should be the next date, right? 11th, for example. So 10th to 11th it is active, and now it is not active. That is the delete means here in the warehouse.
Here the implementation we followed is the daily file is going to have all the records corresponding to the target table, right? Yeah. Otherwise the start date, if we're getting the incremental with the changes, then the start date for the active records may be different, correct?
Yeah, if it is a change data is coming up where we are not calculating, then we don't do change capture actually. So they will give us data, okay, which are inserted, which are deleted. So we just use that process to do the change operations here. So what you said is the sub process of what we did.
Start date is going to be misleading. Start date 1 and 2 records, it's valid even yesterday, but we are putting today's date as the start date.
No. See here, what happened is we have executed the script 2 times on the same day. That's where you are getting this date. Otherwise, these dates are not changed. On the next day, even though they are coming without any change, the start date will be of yesterday only.
Oh, okay.
So here we have executed 2 times the same data. That's where you are getting this confusion. But in real time, what happens? Processed only once. So this date would be on the day where they were loaded initially.
First time loaded initially.
Yeah, first time load data will be there in start date. Correct?
Manohar, can you go through the STD logic in the full order join?
Yeah. With the full outer join on the tables, we are deriving this change column, the case statement, and we are comparing all the columns with old data and new data. If anything is changed, then we'll mark it as update here. If nothing is changed, then no change. Okay. Delete and inserts are okay with the null value in the custom number in the join. But here, update and no change, we have to do all this process where we have to compare all the data. If nothing is changed, then N, otherwise U. And while getting other columns, we have to use either today's data or yesterday's data. When do we use yesterday's data? In case of a delete, we have to get data from yesterday. In case of any other option, we have to get data from A. A means RD cust, B means old cust. When do we get old data? In case it was deleted, so A.cust number will have 0 here, right? Null. So we have to get data from cust number. So we have used police. In case cust number is null in A means RD cust, then we have to get the yesterday's data. Anyway, I will give the script, you can analyze it, you can come up with the questions if you have. But here, I would like to show you the failure status.
You specified like records like only 2 times. Like if it's the records like 3-4 times same record exists, then
also they will be deleted, because if you see the logic here, it is sophisticatedly involved. By giving counter greater than 1, all the instances will go here, but it will be filtered in the dupe cust. And while you are deleting, you are having a condition that cust number which is existing in this dupe cust, so all the instances will be deleted, right? Even though you have 3 instances or 4 instances of the duplicates, all the instances will be deleted. And while getting back, you will get only 1 instance of it, because it is the set table.
okay.
So I will place it in the shared folder, go through it.
Manohar, instead of doing that complete logic, instead of doing that complete logic, we can directly insert the records into the set table, the volatile table, and then take the records from there, right?
Yes.
That's also one way.
Yep.
Manohar, can you also upload all the utility scripts?
Yep, I have already done, but okay, whatever executed during these 2 to 3 days, I will copy there. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And I wanted to show you the failure status, but I will give it to you so that you execute the failure status and see whether it is working or not. Okay? At least it is a homework for you. use this script and try other scenarios with the failure load status and all these things. Or do you want me to show it? The failure status. Do we have time? Anyone want to drop? Someone has already dropped off. If you have time, you can go and show the failure status. Otherwise, you can go.
Yeah, Manohar, you can show that.
Shall I? Okay.
Yeah.
Those who want to drop, you can try that later, but I will show it here. The failure status. Okay. So let us prepare one more data file.
Manohar, yesterday, day before, the first script, whichever is inserted, the next day you deleted, correct? The third day, if I am getting the same thing, then what it's going to be?
Which I have deleted? I didn't deleted anything. The
From
first
the
day data is
first
loaded.
In the cast2 one record is deleted, correct?
Which I have deleted or through script?
Through script.
Okay.
So
From what table? ETL load log.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have used it, but yes, you no need to delete it actually.
No. My question is in the first script number is 6 is there. 6, not 6.
Okay. Let me open the data files. Okay.
I think which one it's existing in the number of
It is 5.
cast, and it's not in the cast2. So again in cast3, if we are entering 5, then again it's going to enter.
Yeah.
And logically we changed the date. Again it's going to open with end date is 9999, correct?
Yeah, it will be open with end data is 9999. So in the gap, you see the data is not there. Okay. So we have deleted, we have closed it. When it is coming insert,
we will get a new record, right? It won't update. It won't update. It will be a new record.
Yeah, that's
we
right.
already closed that record before.
Yeah, it will be opening a new record with 123199.
Active dates.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here, just to see the count mismatch, I am giving the 5 here. How many records we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Manohar, you need to enter the count manually. I mean, is there any script that will?
Pardon?
I mean, if there are any millions of records, then how can you track that count?
See, in real time, who gives this data file to you?
A third party, like
Third party upstream applications who will operate on the customer data, they will give you an extract every day. So that file you will load into your application.
Okay.
So here I am preparing it, so I am changing the data. If they made any mistake in giving the count here or in giving the number of rows here, or during your process you missed to load any of the records, okay, to identify if something mishappened, okay, we are using this operation of failure or success status in the ETL load log. Okay. So here I'm making cast3 with a failure count where I'm having 6 records, but I mentioned only 5 records are there. So it is something error happened at the source system level, not your error. It is source system error. Okay. But when you are processing, you have to capture it. So what we do? Okay, in the data file, I mean the script file, we have to change the data file name. cast2.text is changed to cast3.text. Right? Replace all. Save this, and I'm executing it. Now see the log. one header record is inserted, old cust is processed for cleanup. So inserted all the data, 6 rows here. See how many rows are updated with success status? No rows, because the condition is not met. The rows loaded are 6, but in count it is 5. So no update is happened. So no rows are changed. So when no rows are changed, activity count is 0. When activity count is 0, then where it has to go? Fail update. So it has skipped all the remaining process here. See? It has skipped everything and it went to the fail update, and it has updated the status as failed and fit with the return code 20. So if you see the ETL load log now, you can identify the script is failed. This is how we track everyday load, whether it is failed or in progress or success. Okay. So anyway, I'll place the scripts. So you also make some changes, you do your analysis, you make your data files and play with it. So that we will have more exposure of the ETL process of ETL in maintaining the dimensions. Clear? Any questions? Anyone?
Actually, I have one question. We are updating that ETL load thing before loading the target table itself. So if something goes wrong, then we got to go from after the ETL load update onwards, right? If target table load fails or something.
Yes. So actually I didn't capture all those things. Okay. If you want, you can capture those things also, and you can finally put the ETL load log. Okay. One more status of column, like the RD is success, the final table is failure. Like that you can maintain two statuses in the same table, or you can maintain two different tables at all. Whatever logic you feel is a optimized way.
Yeah.
And Manohar, like you specified like update, insert, and everything is in one select statement. Suppose if we need to split like for some based on the situations, like only insert, based on the situation only like using not a single select statement for all of them. Like if we divide it, then what will be the process like?
For this change capture you are asking?
Yes, yes. Suppose if I use 4 select statements or whatever, like based on my tables or whatever. So if one after insert something is failed, then I can't roll back and all the stuff, correct?
Yeah.
For the data already inserted data, we can't do anything.
Yeah. So here the data is loaded here in the import statement.
Okay, okay. That means the update insert we have to capture in some other tables like virtual
yeah, that's what we did.
Tables,
I captured it in volatile table and I exported the data into 2 different data files.
Okay, that means we have to use 4 maybe, not in single table. We have to use 4 tables temporary and store it in main table, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, this is not only the way what I did. Okay, you can go with. Okay, I mean for simplified purpose, you may capture deletes in one select statement, inserts in one select statement. Okay, you may do that, but I did everything in one shot here to capture all the changes. No change, update, delete, insert. Okay, if you feel it is complicated, you may write simple statements for each and every operation, and you can export or import the data one by one.
And one more question, like you use like if and you specified there is no if then and go to how I'll know that is